back to June 2024 right here in Durban. Durban was hit with a terrible storm that led many families unstable, including the kids and schools. Now, the South African Navy, namely the Naval Base Durban, came up with an initiative to go back to those communities and see what they can do to assist the learners in particular. Now, Naval Base Durban came to two particular primary schools, namely the Standfield Primary School and Qhosheyiphethe Primary School.
It gives me great pleasure this morning to be with you at this program. I think all of us remember what took place on the 3rd of June 2024. When the north of Durban was struck by a tornado. Admiral Lobese, the school that we currently find ourselves in, is a makeshift school as a result of the fact that the school was totally destroyed. But notwithstanding all of that, I think like the proverbial phoenix, we had risen from the ashes and we continue to provide quality basic education to our children. So this morning, I'm eternally grateful that the South African Navy has joined us. There is an African proverb that goes as follows. It takes a village to raise a child. And this morning, I know that amongst us, we have the village that has answered the call. On behalf of the Department of Education, I want to thank the South African Navy for their outstanding gesture to come to the needs of Standfield Primary School.
Reaching puberty is an invisible part of life, and one of the changes that females undergo at this stage is menstruation. Menstruation is a particularly salient issue because it has a more pronounced effect on the quality and enjoyment of fundamental human rights by women and adolescent girls than do other aspects of puberty. The harsh reality is that disposable sanitary products are always prohibitively unaffordable for many girls and making it difficult to maintain good menstrual hygiene. Together, these constraints may result in women and girls being denied basic human rights. The International Human Rights Law makes provision for the better management of menstruation, sexual and reproductive health issues are currently featured on the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, the SDGs. Agenda SDG 4 provides as follows: ensure inclusive and equitable quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all. And also, the SDG 5 is outlined as follows: achieve gender equality, empower all women and girls. These sustainable goals cannot be achieved if this situation persists. Because of your visit and generous donation, there is light at the end of the tunnel, and our girls can freely come to school and access education without having any delays or disruptions because of their days. So, from the bottom of our hearts and from the community of Qhosheyiphethe Primary, we wish to thank you.
Ngiyabonga for all of you who are attending today. It makes my heart glad to see so many children here this afternoon. I'm a firm believer that by looking after our nation's children, we are looking after the future of our nation. That is why I have such respect and love for our teachers who are here this afternoon. All of you have such an incredible, precious task. I can see this afternoon that you love your job, and I can only wish and pray God's love on each of you here this afternoon. In the South African Navy, we have a proud tradition of service to our fellow South Africans. All of the members you see here this afternoon in naval uniform are volunteers. We are proud to say that the South African Navy is the people's navy. This means that not only are the people of South Africa represented in the Navy, but we also serve the people of our beautiful country with honor, dignity, courage, and professionalism. In the South African Navy, we also embrace the concept of Batupilo, which means I am because we are. This simply means that the South African Navy cannot exist if we are not part of a greater society. This means that this afternoon we are proud to embrace the two concepts of the People's Navy and Batupilo, and to do that in a very practical way. This school was selected for assistance because one of the civilian ladies working in our base Durban, Ms. Nzuza, and Ms. Nzuza stepped up. Ms. Nzuza spoke to the principal of the school, Ms. Nana. This was how she became aware of the damage that the school suffered as a result of the weather earlier this year. Ms. Nzuza immediately contacted the leadership of the naval base Durban, who made the effort to travel to this school. Once they saw the situation at this school with their own eyes, leadership of naval base Durban resolved to take action and to contribute to the upliftment of the dignity of these girl children, so that their dreams of education is not shattered as well. South African Navy Spouses Forum in Durban must also be thanked for their initiative to sponsor the sanitary towels as well as collecting them from various sources. This donation of the sanitary towels is given to the girl children in this school to help in guaranteeing that you complete your education and become better citizens and leaders of our beautiful South Africa, as well as Mother Africa. You may be wondering where the South African Navy found the money to pay for these sanitary towels. This money was collected by members of South African Navy working at naval base Durban. The members decided to host a fishing competition in the base, and the profit that was made from this fishing competition was used to purchase all these sanitary towels. We also just donated 252 pairs of shoes this morning at the Standfield Primary School in Othongathi. Other people may have decided to use this money for themselves or to eat or party all this money. However, this is not the type of people that serve in the South African Navy. I am so very proud of the members of Naval Base Durban for this brilliant example that they set for all of the Navy and the rest of the country to follow. This is Batupilo principle at work to the benefit of those less fortunate. I know that this speech is becoming very long, especially to these small kids that are sitting in front. I want to stop here by saying that the South African Navy loves all of you. I want you to listen to your teachers and work hard in school. All of the Navy members you see here before you completed their schooling until matric and beyond. Many of the members in the Navy come from schools that are similar to yours. In fact, my own school, called Gama Primary in New Brighton in Ofelweni, reminds me a lot of your school. And the teachers, keep up your good work and continue to inspire and teach these beautiful children.
Now with me I have Acting Flag Officer Commanding Naval Base Durban, Captain Dladla. Captain, can you take us back? What came about this initiative that we see today, sir?
Thank you, Lieutenant Major. First of all, I just want to broaden up the context as the basic background to the initiative which we have taken as Naval Base Durban on behalf of our Chief of the South African Navy, Vice Admiral Lobese, in extension of our assistance to our impoverished community or previously disadvantaged community, of which part of his vision is to assist with all what we have and intensify and extend our hand to assist all the communities which are challenged. You know, just the Defence Force is a microcosm of the entire community. As we are the key values of the community, as we have got our own culture, we've got our own ethics, and we've got our own conduct and our key values which sum up who we are. So in emphasizing or optimizing what we have to do, hence the Lieutenant Major gave the prior introduction to the initiative taking up in here. We raised our hands whenever the community in the north of our town in Durban on the 3rd of June at about 1630 hours in the afternoon experienced or was struck by a heavy tornado which break and even caused fatality to our people.
Ladies and gentlemen, the mandate for the day was reached. 2 primary schools, 250 shoes were brought out, toiletry bags and sanitary pads. Ladies and gentlemen, the Batho Pele principles was definitely practiced. I am Lieutenant Sindisiwe Maja from the South African Navy.